When it comes to playing the Nintendo Switch handheld, there are plenty of options on the market to try and make it more comfortable to hold. Bimbok, however, have probably made one of the best and flashiest solutions on the market with their hybrid controllers. We've seen a lot of officially licensed similar options to these Bimbok controllers that miss out on a lot of the features that the packed-in Joy-Con have straight out of the box. But why sacrifice features for just an extra touch of comfort? So I've been playing the Nintendo Switch for a couple of weeks now with these RGB Joy-Cons by Bimbok, and honestly I'm impressed that they managed to fit most of the important features from the stock Joy-Con into these bad boys, plus a few other things. The main selling point of these types of controllers would be to gain the extra comfort in handheld mode while giving you bigger buttons and sticks akin to a Pro controller. These feel really nice. They have a fair amount of weight to them with a smooth glossy plastic body that doesn't really feel cheap. They also have a nice chunk to the grips too, so they sit fairly comfortably in the hand. Even when set up as a Pro controller using the included attachment, they feel a little wider and clunkier than the official Pro controller, but still comfortable nonetheless. The sticks on this thing are great. They roll well, grip well, and have a decent amount of travel. The biggest win for these is that the sticks are a larger design to the standard Joy-Con, giving movement in game a little bit more accuracy. All of the main buttons do the jobs well enough. They're not the most clicky or the greatest buttons out there, but they do the job. The exceptions, however, are the L and R buttons that have a slightly mushy feel to them. The only real offender on the Bimbok controller is the D-pad. It's overly smushy, squishy, and doesn't differentiate directions very well. If you were looking to get these controllers for the D-pad, then you're probably going to be disappointed. But there are, however, a lot of things and a lot of other reasons to like them and to pick them up. Both of the Bimbok Joy-Con feature built-in batteries that can be charged through the main Switch system by slotting them into the rails like regular Joy-Con, or via a USB-C port at the bottom of each controller. For an unofficial controller, the Bimbok are actually packed with all the best stuff for the Joy-Con. Both of these Joy-Con alternatives feature gyro, and it's pretty close to Nintendo's own gyro aiming too, so it's perfect for Skyward Sword or Mario Odyssey. Rumble is present too, although not in HD format. It has a decent amount of feedback that's not overly powerful, and you can actually adjust the amount that these controllers rumble on the fly. Absent from the Bimbok controllers, however, is the infrared scanner, normally located underneath the right Joy-Con, so you're not going to be playing stuff like Labo with these. And while I'm on the subject, actually, it doesn't have an NFC reader, so I'm sorry Amiibo fans, you won't be using these either. Small quarrels aside, however, these controllers actually have another set of features that controllers in these similar vein just don't have. Unlike other Joy-Con-like controllers, these can actually be used as single Joy-Con on their side. Along the side rails are the familiar SL and SR buttons. Honestly though, I probably wouldn't use these controllers in that way, but it is a nice option to have, especially if you're travelling and you haven't brought a second controller. They are a little odd to use in this setup, and mainly because the left controller has a D-pad instead of the individual 4 buttons. It is nice for it to be included, especially for people on the go like I said, but it's really not the main selling point of these controllers. It'll always be for the single player experience. If that wasn't enough features already, well, both of these controllers house a turbo button. Holding down the T button on the back of each of the controllers, followed by a button of your choice, makes said button turbo, meaning that if you hold down that button, it will rapidly press itself. There's also a feature to make this button constantly press without you even touching the controller. If you know of any use for this feature, then please let me know in the comments, because I tried my hardest but I couldn't think of anything where I'd actually need that to happen. Both of these Joy-Con also feature a programmable extra button at the back that is set up in the same way as assigning a turbo button. These back buttons actually feel great, and I found a few reasons to use them. The only downside to the programmable buttons is they can only be used to assign buttons from the Joy-Con that it belongs to. So as an example, you can't program L on the right Joy-Con or the right stick on the left, for example. However, assigning run to the back right button means that you can run around Hyrule Field while panning the camera around freely, which is great. I haven't mentioned the elephant in the room with this controller yet though, have I? The rings around the thumbsticks both have RGB lighting in them and can be adjusted to your individual tastes. With a whole bunch of different colour options, brightness adjustments, breathing modes, there's gonna be something for everybody here, even if that option is to just simply turn them off. I personally think these look great. My only gripe with them, however, is that once the Switch is docked with the Joy-Con on, yes, it does fit in the dock still, the lights stay on, so you either have to manually turn them off first or just put up with them being on. Oh, one last thing before I wrap up my thoughts. These can actually wake your Switch up from sleep. I've never known any unofficial controller do this before. It's a very small detail that is easily to overlook, but it's actually one that makes quite a big difference. So with the price tag of around £41, I honestly think these are probably the best solution to a Joy-Con. And because they actually double up as a Pro Controller as well, they've got even more value to them. They are really comfortable and they do look great and they do function great, so I think they're definitely worth it. If I had to compare it to the Hori ones, which are the official licensed version of these, I would say that these bin bucks are much better. They're more comfortable, they have a lot more features, can be used wirelessly, and they double up as a Pro Controller without the need for buying any extra add-ons. If you're interested in these controllers, I will drop a link in the description to where you can buy them. Thank you everyone for watching these videos. Let me know if you're interested in these controllers in the comments, and I will see you next time.